Ben 10 Omniverse is the fourth installment in our beloved Ben 10 series, containing 8 seasons and a total of 80 episodes. The storylines alternate between that of 11-year-old Ben, 1 year after the original series, and 16-year-old Ben, a few months after Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. In this video, we will uncover the entirety of the show from beginning to end in detail. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. The series kicks off with a flashback 5 years from the present. In a battle against the red galvanic mechamorph Malware, Ben Tennyson transforms into forearms but is forced back into human form. Quickly recovering as the alien feedback, Ben defeats Malware by absorbing and redirecting energy. In the present, 16-year-old Ben, Gwen, and Kevin pursue Zombozo, who has stolen a brain from Bellwood's brain bank. After capturing him, Gwen and Kevin announce their departure for college, leaving Ben feeling lonely. Later, he encounters alien criminals extorting shop owners for Tatanite. Disguised as Cannonbolt, Ben intervenes, attracting attention. Later, Max introduces Ben's new partner, Rook, who aids him in thwarting the criminals' bomb plot. With teamwork, Ben and Rook save the day, discovering an underground city, Undertown. Meanwhile, the villainous Kyber sends his Nemetrix-powered dog after Ben, foreshadowing new challenges for the duo. In the aftermath of the encounter with Siphon and his gang in Undertown, Ben reluctantly teams up with Rook to investigate the criminal activities. Pursuing the alien criminals across the rooftops of Undertown, Ben and Rook face a runaway bus and a confrontation with Kyber's pet bug lizard. Discovering Siphon's plan to extend his protection racket to the surface, Ben and Rook confront him, leading to a battle where Ben transforms into various aliens. Despite Siphon's interference and the appearance of Kyber, Ben and Rook manage to defeat the criminals. In the end, Ben embraces Rook as his partner, acknowledging the need for teamwork in the face of growing threats. Kyber sends his dog, equipped with the Nemetrix, a knockoff version of the Omnitrix, to attack Ben while he's at Burger Shack. Ben transforms into Diamond Head to battle Slamworm, a monstrous creature, but struggles during the confrontation. As Slamworm retreats, Kyber whistles, reverting the creature to his dog form. Suspicious of Dr. Animo orchestrating alien attacks, Ben and Rook investigate, only to find Animo missing from prison. They follow ant tunnels to discover mutant ants created by Animo, leading them to a secret anthill hideout in the desert. Animo reveals his plan to control all Earth's ants with a Cormite power core, and Kyber arrives with his dog, transforming it into Mucilator. A chaotic battle ensues, and Rook successfully detonates the power core, defeating the mutant ants. Kyber's dog escapes, and Ben apprehends Animo, realizing the persistent threat against him. Kyber infiltrates Plumber headquarters and accesses a file containing a flashback to Galvan Prime, where Azimuth and Albedo work on a device called Helix. Malware interrupts seeking repairs through the same Helix. Azimuth's refusal results in Malware's rage, leading to his kidnapping of Albedo and theft of the Helix. Ben, Max, and Azimuth pursue Malware to Galvan B, where he absorbs other mechamorphs and seeks Helix's power. Despite initial success, Albedo's sabotage inadvertently transforms Malware into a more powerful form. Ben, as Diamond Head, manages to encase Malware in crystal, immobilizing him. Back in the present, Kyber retrieves the Helix file, completing his mission, and leaves undetected with his dog. In the same flashback where Ben was fighting Malware, we see that when Ben was forced back to his human form, Malware drained the Omnitrix and copied it into his hand. In the present, Ben and Rock face off against Kyber and his pet in a fierce battle. Despite Ben's attempts to transform into Humungosaur, he mistakenly becomes Stinkfly and then Wildmutt. Kyber utilizes a whistle to disrupt Wildmutt and revert him to human form. Ben's efforts to gather information in Undertown lead him to a pet store where a dog whistle allows Kyber to capture him. Kyber ultimately captures Ben, signaling an ominous turn of events in the pursuit orchestrated by Dr. Psychobos for Omnitrix DNA. Ben finds himself captive on Kyber's ship alongside the menacing Predator dog. Kyber reveals the origins of the Nemetrix, a creation of Malware and Dr. Psychobos, designed to house predatory DNA with Kyber tasked to collect it. Flashbacks unveil Kyber's test run on Phil Billings, who transformed into Terrorantula. As Ben faces imminent peril, Rook unexpectedly arrives, rescuing him. Kyber plans to sever Ben's Omnitrix arm, but Rook intervenes, initiating a heated confrontation. Despite setbacks, Ben transforms into various aliens, culminating in a climactic battle against Kyber, his formidable pet, and the crashed ship. Rook's strategic thinking aids Ben's escape, concluding with a daring rescue by Max's plumber ship. After some time, Dr. Psychobos infiltrates Plumber headquarters, targeting the Omnitrix for a crucial component to finish his own device. As Ben and Rook respond to a security breach, Psychobos successfully removes a regulator, causing the Omnitrix to malfunction. The resulting chaos transforms various characters into hybrid aliens. Amidst the battle, Siphon threatens to unleash the Null Void on Bellwood unless his minions are released. Rook forms an eclectic team with Ben's unpredictable alien forms to tackle the crisis. They ultimately thwart the villain's plans, with Ben ultimately regaining control of the Omnitrix. Later, Psychobos integrates the stolen piece into the Nematrix, setting the stage for further conflicts. At the old Bellwood Days Festival, Ben reluctantly becomes the star attraction in a Dunk Ben 10 charity event. While enduring dunk attempts from eager children, Kyber's pet Bug Lizard appears and transforms into various predators of Ben's aliens. Ben decides to turn into a rarely used alien Big Chill to counter his opponent's adaptability. Ben also realizes Malware's presence and his plot to absorb energy from various sources, meaning Kyber was playing as a mere distraction. Despite the challenges, Ben and Rook manage to save the day, and Ben returns to the dunking booth, where he's dunked by Rook, adding insult to injury. On Galvan Prime, we're introduced to the Omniverse, the extinct natural predator of the Galvans. Just then, Dr. Psychobos, Kyber, Kyber's pet, and Malware infiltrate the museum, where Kyber samples omniverse DNA for the Nematrix, planning to unleash it on the Galvans. Back on Earth, Ben and Rook engage in a conversation, delving into Ben's past use of feedback. At one point, feedback was Ben's most used alien, and Rook says he would love to see Ben turn into it again. However, a later flashback reveals feedback's demise at the hands of Malware, which deeply upset Ben. Later, they receive an urgent call from Galvan Prime, where Azimuth is under threat. The duo arrives to find Azimuth cornered by Kyber's pet, now transformed into Omniverse. A battle ensues, and with Azimuth's invention, they manage to turn the tables temporarily. However, the situation takes a dire turn as Galvan B is mysteriously destroyed, leaving Azimuth, Ben, and Rook in shock and uncertainty about the looming threat. Amidst the impending destruction of Galvan B, Malware wreaks havoc on Galvan Prime, absorbing the helix and scattering his parts across the planet. As the shockwave reaches Galvan Prime, Azimuth reveals Malware's ability to scatter and infect the planet. With Galvan Prime's defenses compromised, Ben transforms into energy to aid in repelling the onslaught of rock-like Malware. The plumber ship arrives, led by Max, who assists in repairing the firewall controls. A colossal Malware confronts Ben and absorbs him, leading to a battle within Malware's consciousness. Azimuth intervenes, guiding Ben to reflect on the loss of feedback and the importance of learning from defeat. Ben, with his newfound understanding, emerges as feedback and harnesses energy from the helix. With the help of galvanic mechamorphs, feedback obliterates Malware, saving Galvan Prime from the same fate. Grateful but stoic, Azimuth remains behind as Ben, Gwen, Kevin, and the plumber team return home, leaving Galvan mechamorphs to rebuild Galvan B. Sometime later, Ben and Rook find themselves captured by a new villain named Yancy Chan, who controls cats. After escaping, they head to Peptos 11, the Gorman home planet, to aid in the fight against incursions. The Gormans, a race of aliens who can eat anything, are divided into perks and mercs and argue over rescue plans for their queen. Ben and Rook take different sides, leading to separate missions. As they battle incursions, Ben faces a dilemma when their leader, Atea, threatens the Gorman queen. Eventually, the Gormans, with Plan Omega, consume the planet Peptos 11 to deny the incursions their conquest. Atea, communicating with her father Milius, hints at Earth as their next target, setting the stage for future conflicts. Ben and Rook are tasked with transporting the dangerous Vilgax to Incursean, a high-security prison. However, an incursion attack disrupts their plans, causing the plumbers to crash into the prison. Amidst the chaos, Vilgax denies involvement, and Ben reluctantly releases him to face the incursion threat. As battles unfold within Incursean, Atea and her bounty hunter team target Vilgax, leading to intense confrontations. Despite best efforts, Vilgax escapes, leaving Ben frustrated. Meanwhile, Atea faces repercussions from Milius for failing to capture Vilgax and secure his home planet. Meanwhile, plumbers led by Magister Arnyx crash on the toxic planet Terminus 3. Ben, Rook, and Max receive a distress call and learn the plumbers need a cure from the venom of the Grackleflint. To reach the planet, they enlist Rad Dudesman and his ship, the Lovely Duck. On board, they discover Pax, a plant-based alien, protecting the Grackleflint. A struggle ensues to contain the creature, causing damage to the ship. In the midst of the chaos, they encounter incursions led by Raph, who demand the Grackleflint. Rad's ship is boarded, leading to a creative plan to fend off the incursions and repair the ship. Ultimately, they secure the Grackleflint, cure the plumbers, and escape incursion interference. Later, plumber Sheriff Watson and Rook's sister Rook Shar respond to a distress call on Revena, only to find Young One piloting a harvester recklessly. Young One, claiming an Incursean invasion, convinces Ben, Rook, and Watson to return to Revena with him. However, upon their arrival, they discover a bizarre situation where the Revanaganders are behaving strangely, harvesting ambrosia for the incursions. Unraveling the mystery, Ben, Rook, and Youngwood confront Dr. Psychobos, who is using mind control technology. Despite their efforts to thwart his plans and destroy the mind control machine, Atea manages to escape with a small amount of ambrosia, setting her sights on Earth. On Earth, Ben and Rook witness a sudden influx of aliens emerging from Undertown. The news of an impending Incursean invasion spreads, and Max briefs Ben and Rook at Plumber headquarters. When attempting to calm citizens, the Omnitrix activates its randomizer function, transforming Ben into various aliens unpredictably. Despite initial setbacks, Ben uses a combination of alien forms to defend Earth against the Incursean invasion. The plumbers engage in a desperate battle against Milius and his incursion forces. However, when Atea unveils a sinister plan involving mutated Tokastars raining down on Earth, Ben is forced to leave the planet in an incursion space pod to prevent further destruction. In the end, Ben is launched into space, leaving Earth under incursion control. Exiled in space, Ben reflects on his predicament as Milius consolidates control over Earth using an army of Waybads. With governments under incursion rule, a resistance team consisting of Gwen, Kevin, Rook, Bluekick, and Argit struggles to collect weapons. When the team plans to confront Dr. Psychobos, Atea betrays them, leading to Argit's capture. However, a mysterious incursion, Bullfrag, helps the team escape. Later, it's revealed that Bullfrag is Ben, who infiltrated Atea's forces with Azimuth's assistance. The team seeks to free Max and the other plumbers, and Ben's true identity is exposed. Additionally, Atea's cunning plan to overthrow Milius is also revealed, resulting in her leadership of the incursions. Reluctantly accepting Atea's terms to avoid war, Ben renews his reputation as a hero, and Atea winks at him as she departs. The war concludes with the return of Ben Tennyson to Earth, marking a new chapter in the ongoing struggle against the incursions. Following Inspector 13, Ben and Rook learn of his new role as an independent dealer of illegal alien technology. While Ben engages in a sophisticated conversation with Inspector 13, he's ultimately ambushed, leading to a confrontation with the Tekadon robots. To gather information on illegal weapons, Ben, now speaking with an elevated tone, joins forces with Argit, who has gained popularity in Undertown due to embellished tales of his heroics during the Incursean invasion. As the team infiltrates Inspector 13's warehouse, Ben, revealed to be Albedo in disguise, retrieves a crucial component for his stabilizer device. Albedo transforms into Ultimate Humongosaur and escapes, leaving Ben and his allies to face the aftermath of their failed mission. Albedo is now working with Kyber and continues to advance his grand plan, leaving Ben to ponder the challenges ahead. In a pursuit of Albedo, Ben and Rook discover a spaceship, inadvertently leaving Ben trapped in Kyber's hunting preserve. Transforming into Cannonbolt, Ben encounters a Pinocchian, learning of his predatory nature. Kyber challenges Ben to a hunt, leading to a Ditto transformation. Splitting into multiple clones, the Dittos engage in evasive tactics, outsmarting Pinocchians in diverse environments. Meanwhile, Rook and Max, misled by Albedo's DNA, encounter challenges on an alien planet. Albedo, orchestrating a diversion, deploys drones against them. Back at the preserve, Ben faces off against Kyber and his Pinocchian pack. As the conflict intensifies, Albedo reveals he's held Azimuth's captive, leaving Ben's team in a precarious situation. Ben, Rook, and Max confront Albedo and Kyber, who have captured Azimuth. The team manages to rescue Azimuth just as Albedo activates the cerebral vortex to drain Azimuth's intelligence. A struggle ensues, with Ben transforming into Terraspin to prevent Azimuth's brain from becoming Kyber's pet's meal. Evading Albedo and Kyber, the team returns to Earth, where the conflict intensifies with Gwen and Kevin joining. Despite a crash, Ben fights his gravitak, causing Ultimate Albedo and Kyber to retreat. The team confronts Albedo at Billion's Tower, where Azimuth empowers Ben with a new alien, Atomics. Atomics defeats Albedo, restoring Azimuth's intellect. However, Albedo's stabilizer malfunctions, regressing him into an 11-year-old Ben and marking the end of his villainous schemes. In the mundane lull of 2 alien-free weeks, Ben longs for an exciting threat, unaware of the impending chaos orchestrated by Zombozo. The villain, weakened but determined, unleashes a sinister circus, turning people into zombie clowns. Rook's bizarre transformation fuels Ben's suspicion, leading him to confront the malevolent circus. Amidst the chaos, plumbers succumb to the zombie clown epidemic. Ben, finally facing circus freaks, transforms through various aliens, battling the eerie transformations. Zombozo's fear-absorbing plan gains momentum until Ben's final transformation into Topic triggers the clown's own fear, undoing the nightmarish spectacle. As Zombozo escapes into space, the circus freaks are apprehended, leaving Bellwood restored, but Ben reflecting on his enduring unease with clowns. Under the guise of Lucky Girl, Gwen intercepts Professor Aniceto, who turns out to be the villain Punchinello, attempting a plutonium heist. Later, the team visits Friedkin University, encountering rock monsters and hooded students under Charmcaster's influence. Unveiling Professor Zaglib's true identity, they discover the charms of Bezel. Darkstar, disguised as Dante, seizes the artifact, sacrificing Gwen to unleash a chaotic power. Battling hooded students, Ben transforms into Ghost Freak because it is immune to Darkstar's energy absorption. Possessing Darkstar, Ghost Freak thwarts the ritual, leading to Darkstar's arrest by Charmcaster. However, the portal opens, unleashing Zeuscare and setting the stage for further conflicts. While navigating the Anur system, Ben and his team crash the Lovely Duck on Anur Transil. Investigating the damaged engines, they encounter the ominous stone figure of a Transillian. Meanwhile, Rook suggests seeking help from a Leboan plumber, leaving Rad, Hobble, and Ben to explore the eerie town. Hobble mysteriously disappears, and as a Thepkufan attacks, Rad vanishes too. Ben faces accusations from the locals, but Leboan Plumber Scout rescues him. Together, they save the others from the clutches of Cthulhu. However, Zeuscare emerges from the wreckage, unleashing minions Victor and Cruo. A fierce battle ensues, with Ben transforming into energy, forcing Zeuscare to retreat, at least for now. At Zoo Castle, Zeuscare on Anur Transil, Zeuscare, Victor, and Crujo work on a mysterious project until Charmcaster appears, seeking the Alpha Rune. Unwilling to surrender it, Zeuscare nonchalantly banishes her. Meanwhile, aboard the Lovely Duck, Ben's scream about a pimple is interrupted by Charmcaster's sudden arrival. Transforming into Swampfire, Ben prepares for a fight, but Charmcaster, bizarrely conversing with her bag, poses no immediate threat. Rook joins and Charmcaster discloses Zeuscare's mischief, prompting an unlikely alliance. Exploring Anur Transil's town, they encounter peculiarities, including magical living pumpkins. As they overcome magical challenges, Charmcaster unveils her Alpha Rune-powered transformation. The battle unfolds, revealing Ben's evolving Swampfire form. Despite the triumph, Charmcaster is mysteriously transported to Ledger Domain, claiming mastery. Back in Anur Transil, Victoria remains unimpressed by Ben. In Ledger Domain, Charmcaster, now in control, consults her enchanted bag for guidance. In the Lovely Duck, Ben, Rook, Rad, and Hobble escape the brainwashed citizens of Anur Transil, now under Zeuscare's control. Zeuscare revives Lord Transil of Vladet with the Alpha Rune's power, revealing his plan to resurrect all Vladets and dominate the universe. The Omnitrix detects a new DNA signal, prompting Ben to return, but he's accidentally sent into space. Transforming into Astrodactyl, he survives and convinces Rat to retrieve him. Back on Anur Transil, Ben transforms into Vampire of Vladet to battle Lord Transil and Zeuscare. With allies like Victor, Crudo, and Cthulhu, they thwart Zeuscare's scheme. Atomics, one of Ben's forms, deals a final blow, defeating Zeuscare and saving Anur Transil from his malevolent plans. Lord Transil is imprisoned by Victor as the Lovely Duck departs the Anur system, ending his saga on a victorious note. As for Charmcaster, she disrupts Hex, now a professor at Friedkin University, seeking the powerful Staff of Ages. In the library, Charmcaster turns Hex into a totem to gain the staff. Gwen intervenes, leading to a fierce magical battle. Kevin and Rook, busy modifying a car, inadvertently become a part of the chaos. Charmcaster, now wielding the staff, gains the upper hand until Gwen cleverly uses illusions to distract her. With strategic teamwork, Gwen and Ben manage to banish Charmcaster and the Hex Totem to Ledger Domain. Gwen and Kevin search for Kevin's lost car in Ledger Domain using a magical radar. They find it but get teleported away, leaving Gwen alone with Charmcaster. In Charmcaster's bag, Gwen discovers Hex, Darkstar, and Adwadia, all captive. Back on Earth, Kevin, Ben, and Rook enlist the help of a mysterious janitor Bezel and decoding magical mysteries. Meanwhile, Charmcaster continues her pursuit of power. Gwen, using clever tactics, tricks Charmcaster into imprisoning herself in her own bag. In the aftermath, Bezel reveals his true identity, a legendary magician, and Charmcaster remains confined. The team marvels at Gwen's ingenuity, and Charmcaster's bag, with her indignant protests, finds a place in Gwen's collection of magical artifacts. In Undertown, Ben, Max, and Rook encounter a bipedal tarantula revealed to be Phil, Max Tennyson's old partner. Transformed by the Nematrix 5 years ago, Phil pleads for help, explaining his uncontrollable transformations. Phil, now a tarantula, escapes and seeks energy for a recharge. Ben, Rook, and Max confront Phil in Bellwood, realizing he absorbs energy. Despite their efforts, Phil escapes into a construction site. Later at Plumber headquarters, Phil is confined, but his electric field disrupts the power core. During a confrontation, Phil kidnaps Ben and heads down to Undertown. Phil aims to absorb Nosdenians for power, but Buzzshock, limited by Phil's electric field, leads him on a chase. Max and Rook use a null void projector, sending Phil to the null void. Though Max feels conflicted, Ben lightens the mood, suggesting they shop for alien recipe ingredients. A covert Black Ops wing of the Plumbers called the Rooters infiltrate the Plumber HQ, seeking Kevin Levin. Cervantes, their leader, possesses mind-reading abilities and a team of formidable agents. Max, Ben, and Rook grapple with the Rooters' control, leading to Max's painful mind probe. Ben attempts to warn Kevin about the Rooters, but they eventually catch up. Swift and Leander confront Ben, who cleverly uses Ball Weevil to escape. Cervantes reveals their connection to Rook's proto-tech armor and initiates a hunt for Max. The plot takes a darker turn as Kevin absorbs Cervantes' powers, revealing a troubling history of experiments, hybrid creations, and manipulated memories by the Rooters in the Null Void. In the end, Ben and Gwen decide to keep Kevin's whereabouts a secret, ensuring the Rooters' return remains uncertain. Meanwhile, Alan, an ally of Ben's team, is working on his car at the Albright farm when Kevin, Argit, and Zed arrive. Despite initial distrust, Kevin claims to want to return Alan's memories. Swift, a Rooter agent, attacks, and a battle ensues. In a parallel plot, Ben, Gwen, and Rook decipher a coded letter left by Kevin, revealing his involvement with the Rooters. Arriving at Koros, Manny and Helen engage in a confrontation with Phil and Leander, while Ben's team rescues them. Kevin shocks Alan, unlocking suppressed memories of Rooters' experiments. In the Null Void, Ben confronts the Rooters, but Kevin turns against him, manipulated by false memories. In the Null Void, a chaotic battle unfolds as Ben, Gwen, Rook, Zed, and Argit face Waybads and the mutated Kevin, now allied with the Rooters. Argit exposes their history, revealing a past alliance with Kevin and the Rooters' plan to eliminate Ben due to the Omnitrix's perceived threat. Despite intense confrontations and Kevin's apparent betrayal, a shocking turn occurs when Kevin, through strategic deception, frees himself from Cervantes' control. The Rooters' attempt to erase Ben's existence fails, and Magistrata arrives to revoke their plumber privileges. The Rooters are left stranded in the Null Void as their base vanishes, marking the end of their dark reign. Three mysterious devices crash on Earth, causing Ben, as Crashhopper, and Rook to investigate. They discover a derelict ship anchored to Earth via tractor beams. Ben and Rook board the ship and encounter the Friedel brothers scavenging for tech. Meanwhile, Argit steals the proto-truck, claiming possession of the Arc, a universe-destroying weapon. Later, Argent reveals the Riddles now possess the Arc, and a struggle for the weapon results in its activation. In a desperate move, as the universe is being erased before their very eyes, Ben transforms into Alien X and convinces Serena and Bellicus to let him recreate the universe. The trio ends the day with Smoothies, unaware of the altered Mr. Smoothie building, hinting at lingering cosmic changes. Later, Ben, Blukik, and Dreama hunt for the elusive 23rd Mr. Smoothie, discovering an interdimensional version with Professor Hoaxstar. Dimensional travel disrupts the store, revealing alternate realities. Ben meets his alternate Ben 23, a fame-loving hero. However, trouble arises when 7-7 attacks. Ben and Ben 23 collaborate, using their unique aliens to defeat 7-7 and Tetrax. The conflict reveals Azimuth inside 7-7's suit. Azimuth reboots Ben 23's misuse of the Omnitrix, leading to a lesson on responsibility. With the situation resolved, Ben returns home, reconciling with Max, while Ben 23 learns valuable lessons about heroism. Sometime later, young Ben and teen Ben battle Eon, causing a time anomaly that swaps their bodies. Young Ben, now in teen Ben's body, initially enjoys the teenage perks, while teen Ben, trapped in his younger self's body, struggles to convince others of the switch. Together with Gwen, Rook, and the Elder Paradox, they embark on a quest to find Chrono Navigator, a key to the multiverse that Eon desires. The adventure spans different timelines, requiring clever clues and alien transformations. Eventually, both Bens, with the guidance of Paradox, transform into clockwork simultaneously to defeat Eon and restore the fabric of time. Despite a successful resolution, Teen Ben's enthusiasm for a potential universal calamity intensifies as Ben 10,000 arrives with news of a time war. Later, Ben faces Thunderpig, who accuses him of eating his father. After a skirmish as Echo Echo, Ben inadvertently damages Mr. Bauman's car, leading to Mr. Bauman recalling past instances where Ben caused havoc to his vehicles. Flashbacks reveal Ben's unintentional destruction of Mr. Bauman's property over the years. In the present, Mr. Bauman punishes Ben by making him deliver packages without using the Omnitrix. A mix-up with packages at a bar triggers a chaotic pursuit involving various villains. Ben transforms into different aliens to thwart their attempts to obtain a powerful energy source called a dwarf star, inadvertently thrown into space by him years ago. Despite saving Undertown, Mr. Bauman's house is wrecked by the returning space debris. Ben escapes, leaving Mr. Bauman frustrated in the rain, concluding the episode with his trademark, "See ya." Ben and Magister Patilidae confront thugs in Undertown who possess stolen plumber tech. Ben transforms into Accelerate to outmaneuver them, but the criminals, led by Liam, escape with advanced weaponry. Back at the plumber base, Gwen discovers her cousin Lucy working with the plumbers and is suspicious of her. The plumbers face a series of thefts involving dangerous technology, leading to heightened security. As Gwen investigates, tensions rise and suspicions fall on Lucy. The situation intensifies when a valuable device, the Annihilar, is targeted by Siphon and his gang. A surprising twist reveals Lucy as an undercover operative and a mole is exposed. The team, including Ben in various alien forms, engages in a fierce battle to prevent the theft. Ultimately, Lucy's true loyalty is unveiled and the crisis is averted. Gwen acknowledges her misjudgment of Lucy, fostering a comedic yet heartwarming moment between the cousins. Dr. Animo, confined at Plumber headquarters, unexpectedly teams up with a talking toy that possesses a device capable of unlocking his cell. The duo escapes, setting off alarms and prompting Ben, Rook, and Magister Patilidae to pursue them. Dr. Animo encounters his future self, who reveals a government project, the Arc Project, involving DNA samples for Earth's species. Meanwhile, a mysterious robotic ally, Spanner, enters the scene. The plot thickens as future Dr. Animo and his past counterpart clash with Spanner and the plumbers. Ben transforms into the alien Gutrot, showcasing a unique ability to manipulate chemicals. A clever use of memory-altering gas neutralizes the Animos, and Spanner eventually returns future Dr. Animo to his timeline, leaving Ben and Rook to ponder the mysterious ally's identity. Sometime later, we see Ben in an alternate universe where he never received the Omnitrix, leading a mundane and uneventful life. However, his encounter with Bad Ben, Albedo, and Benzaro disrupts the ordinary day. Professor Paradox intervenes, revealing the existence of a multiverse and the sinister plot orchestrated by Eon and Vilgax to corrupt and control Omnitrix-wielding versions of Ben across dimensions. With the multiverse in peril, Ben Prime, along with allies from other timelines, confronts their evil counterparts in a thrilling battle. No Watch Ben, the only Ben without an Omnitrix, becomes the unexpected hero when Vilgax initiates a catastrophic plan to erase all Ben Tensons from existence. As the multiverse collapses, Ben Prime sacrifices himself, passing on his Omnitrix to No Watch Ben, who is determined to face the challenges that lie ahead. With that, No Watch Ben and Professor Paradox contemplating a journey to the beginning. No Watch Ben, the last remaining Ben Tenson without an Omnitrix, is tasked by Professor Paradox to repair the damaged time streams orchestrated by Vilgax and Eon. Guided by Paradox, No Watch Ben revisits key moments in the original timeline to ensure that Ben Prime finds the Omnitrix. Transforming into various aliens to thwart Vilgax's interference, No Watch Ben successfully fulfills his mission. Joined by counterparts from different dimensions, including Ben 10,000, Ben 23, and Gwen 10, the diverse team faces off against the evil Bens and their adversaries in a spectacular showdown. The climactic battle, led by the united Bens, results in the defeat of Vilgax and the restoration of the erased Ben Tensons across the multiverse. As Paradox takes the others back to their respective timelines, No Watch Ben, now appreciating his potential, embraces the thrill of being part of the Tenson legacy and witnesses his grandfather Max Tenson's impressive role as a space secret agent. His adventure concludes with Paradox returning Ben Prime to his timeline, acknowledging the mysteries and countless stories within the multiverse's branch timelines. Sometime later, tensions rise in Undertown as bounty hunters seek a mysterious object stolen from an armored truck. Ben, Rook, and the enigmatic Spanner discover that the sought-after item is in the possession of Argent, who claims innocence. As chaos ensues, a dehydrated army of Tekadon robots, the sought-after object becomes a game-changer. Ben battles adversaries in various alien forms, while Spanner's mysterious interventions raise suspicions. Ultimately, Argent gains control of the Tekadon army, banishing the bounty hunters from Undertown and earning adoration from its citizens. Meanwhile, Jimmy Jones, who continually appears at crucial moments, leaves Ben and Rook puzzled about his true identity and motives. Ben and Rook's museum date takes an unexpected turn when Kai Green, one of Ben's first love interests, appears, revealing her grandfather's collection of alien artifacts. Spanner, a mysterious ally, intervenes as a Merlin sapien named Subdora attempts to steal the orb of Puma Punku. After some struggle, Subdora escapes with the orb, setting off a chain of events. As Ben and Kai find themselves trapped in the museum, Spanner's true identity is revealed as a time-traveling agent. Subdora's failed attempt leads to Exoskull's involvement, and a heated battle ensues. Despite losing the orb, Spanner secretly retrieves it and returns to the future. In the end, we get a glimpse of Ben 10,000's tower, where an adult Kai rediscovers the orb, and Spanner, satisfied with his mission, ensures a destined future unfolds. Continuing from their game session, Ben is interrupted by Ben 23 and Asthma 23, who have arrived so Ben can mentor Ben 23 for a bit. Their first mission together commences when a robbery involving Subdora and Exoskull is reported. Despite their laid-back approach, the Bens and Rook engage in a battle, but a sudden activation of Maltruant's chronocog transports them to an alternate dimension. In this Mad Ben universe, they encounter versions of characters like Mad Rook, Mad Haranga, and even a malicious Mad Ben himself. Struggling to prevent Maltruant from initiating a time war, the Bens face challenges, frozen Omnitrixes, and the daunting threat of their sinister counterparts. Ultimately, Mad Ben seizes Maltruant's key and aims to restart the time war, leaving the fate of the multiverse hanging in the balance. Ben and Ben 23 find themselves enslaved in Mad Ben's authoritarian world, forced to dig for a mysterious key. Chained alongside Dr. Psychobos, they endure the harsh rule of Mad Rook and a Mad Pakmar. After a daring escape in a commandeered truck, the trio seeks refuge in a broken Mr. Smoothie. Dr. Psychobos repairs their malfunctioning Omnitrixes, leading to a humorous mix-up of alien transformations. Despite their initial struggles, the Bens rally the oppressed workers against Mad Ben, employing a strategic blend of alien powers. Mad Ben's formidable transformations, including energy and way big, pose a challenge, but the Bens manage to outsmart him. With the rebellion successful, Mad Ben is subdued, and the enslaved world begins to free itself. As the Bens attempt to return to their dimension using Clockwork's time travel, they discover their abilities compromised. The unexpected arrival of Rook in Professor Hoakstar's dimension-hopping Mr. Smoothie offers a chance for escape, leaving behind a liberated world grateful for the Ben's intervention. Kyber infiltrates Plumber headquarters to steal the Nemetrix, leaving behind a taunting message for Ben. Unfazed, Ben believes he's on a lucky streak after winning a Taden and receiving various freebies. Meanwhile, Kyber partners with Skurd, a DNA-absorbing slime biot, to enhance his capabilities and wield the Nemetrix without mental degradation. When Kyber and Skurd confront Ben at Mr. Smoothie's, a battle ensues, leading to an accidental teleportation by Bluekick and Dreba, landing Ben and Rook in Kyber's lair. Skurd, now attached to Ben, showcases his ability to weaponize DNA, turning the tide in their favor against Kyber's transformed predator. Ultimately, the Galvan accidentally teleport Kyber to Plumber HQ, allowing Ben and Rook to attend the Sumo Slammers on Ice show. Ben and Rook's routine day takes a chaotic turn when a car accident reveals a hidden stash of Time Beast eggs. Eon, the time-traveling villain, seizes the opportunity to modify his plans, hatching a fully grown Time Beast. A clash between Ben, Rook, and the Time Beast ensues, freezing Bellwood in time. The untimely intervention of Professor Paradox and Ben 10,000 resets the situation, prompting a dynamic battle against Eon and his accomplices Exoskull and Subdora. Despite their efforts, Eon escapes with 2 eggs, leaving the heroes with 1 Time Beast to confront. Ben and Rook successfully trap the Time Beast, reverting it to an egg using time cycles. Paradox decides to close the time loop by taking the past Ben and Rook back, allowing the present duo to continue their fight against time-manipulating threats. Meanwhile, Elon delivers the egg to the formidable villain Maltruant, hinting at a larger and ominous plot in the making. In Dos Santos, Kai contacts Ben for help in finding alien artifacts in the Temple of the Sky, but is surprised when Ben and Rook arrive from the future on their time cycles. Despite their peculiar arrival, the trio ventures into the jungle, facing challenges and a stone creature known as the Jungle Guardian. As they explore the Temple of the Sky, they encounter traps and another Jungle Guardian, which turns out to be a robot controlled by a Galvan named Eugen. The plot thickens when Paradox reveals that the temple houses a fragment of the defeated villain Maltruant, divided into artifacts scattered across time and space. Exoskull interrupts their discovery, seeking a vital component called the Main Spring. In the ensuing battle, Ben transforms into Wrath with Skurd's enhancements, successfully defeating Exoskull. However, a time portal opens, leading to the theft of the Main Spring and the departure of the thieves. Paradox reassures the team, hinting at a more extensive adventure in the future, and Ben and Rook depart in their time cycles, leaving Dos Santos behind. In the future, chaos ensues at Ben 10,000's headquarters when Dr. Animo attempts to steal the Arc project using the Chronoporter. However, Spanner intervenes and captures Dr. Animo. The president of Earth, revealed to be Argit, arrives, and the plumbers face a solar flare crisis. Subdora infiltrates Plumber's HQ, stealing the Anile Arc, and under the guidance of Maltruant, who plans to use it with the Dwarf Star to achieve his nefarious goals. Meanwhile, Max battles Dr. Animo, who is subdued and recaptured. Exoskull, now powered by the Dwarf Star, wreaks havoc, and a face-off between Ben 10,000, Kai, Gwendolyn, and Maltruant escalates. Ken, Ben 10,000's son, who was revealed as Spanner, makes a surprise appearance and summons Ben and Rook from the present to assist. Maltruant gains the upper hand, seemingly defeating the heroes and discarding them into space. However, Ben transforms into a vampire and forces him to retreat. In a tense confrontation, Maltruant escapes through time on a Time Beast, leaving the heroes in shock and uncertainty. In the concluding episode, A New Dawn, Maltruant's escape with the Time Beast triggers a chase through the time stream. Ben and Rook, joined by Professor Paradox, engage in a reckless pursuit that results in a crash landing in the 1770s. In this era, they meet a modified version of George Washington, who collaborates with them to handle a zombie threat. Vilgax, summoned by Maltruant's distress signal, clashes with Ben and Washington. Utilizing a new alien, Molstache, Ben defeats Vilgax, preventing him from repairing his damaged ship. The chase resumes as Maltruant flees to a blank void, leading Ben and Rook to a Contamilia ship. Inside, they discover that Maltruant aims to use the Anile Arc to create a new universe. Ben and Rook confront Maltruant, with Ben transforming into a chromostone to counteract the Anile Arc's power. In a pivotal moment, Ben seemingly sacrifices himself to prevent the destruction of his universe. However, he survives his feedback, containing and redirecting the Annihilarch's energy to defeat Maltruant. The Contumelia, impressed by Ben's resilience, invite him and Rook to witness the creation of their new universe. Skirn, recognizing his purpose as a slime biot, chooses to join his kind in seeding DNA across the multiverse. Professor Paradox reveals that Ben's actions have orchestrated a time loop that will ensure Ben's victory over Maltruant in every single universe, meaning he will never be a threat to the world again. After returning to their universe, Ben and Rook decide to embark on a road trip to explore the newly created universe, marking the end of the series.